Hello again, this is Jacob Fry with Fraud Tech IT Services. This is the final video for my desktop refurbish. In this video I'm going to be installing the power supply and connecting it, and installing the side panel and front panel to the case. And that should finish us up with the refurbish of this machine, and then I'm going to boot it up on the back end and make sure everything works on it, and throw Windows 7 on it, and a couple other things just to play around with it. So here we go. A few things you need to know before doing this is you got to make sure you've got the right power supply. So what you do is, I know this one came in there so it's going to fit, but you have screw hole here, up here, over here, over here, and this one's down just a little bit further right here. This is standard ATX setup on it, and if you look at the power supply here, it's the same type setup. You got a hole here, here, and here in this one, and this one's just a little bit further out this way, not quite in the corner. That one's a little off too. But you're just going to take it and set it in just like this and push it back. Also, the power will be on the top on this one. Your lettering will be the correct way up and everything. But normally you just line up those holes in the back and you're good to go. So in this particular machine right here, you've got these two clips right here that push down that lock in the back of it. So when you slide it all the way in here, these clips right here are going to lock on it. And these are routing clips for power cables that I'm not going to use. So pretty much you're just going to take the power supply like this, set it down in here, push down on it to get those clips to go down, and then slide forward. There's also a little clip right back here that you've got to get past as well that holds some of the weight. So once you push down on that, you mess around with it for a minute. There it goes. And now it's clipped in. It's locked into place here on the back on these clips. See if you can see that. See those clips right there in the back they're locked in. That kind of holds it in. It doesn't necessarily have to have the screws, but you also want to make sure that your screw holes are lined up, and just drop the 4 screws in there. Here, 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 and here. So let me put those 4 screws in real quick. Alright. There you go. Right there. You got all 4 screws in. It's locked into place. It's nice and tight. Now the next thing that you're going to want to do is put in your power connection to the main board, to your DVD drive, which is this back connection here, and the 4-pin connector. So your main one is the 24-pin connector. It just goes right in this main white slot. It'll only go in one way. So just slide that in until it locks down real good. Tug on it just to make sure it's in place real good. Your 4-pin connector, which goes over here on this side right behind the power supply, you just put that in. It only goes in one way. The clip on one way, and actually the holes in it where the pins are designed in different shapes so that they only fit in one way as well. The next one is your SATA power. This is an L bracket just like the data connection, and it plugs in only in one way on here. You put one of them on your hard drive and get that done. Power it up. This would be for the 3.5 floppy drive, but I'm not going to use that. And then one of these 2 here, either one of these SATAs, just like on this one, either one of the SATAs you could have used. And the other one would be for the object below if you had another DVD drive or something in it. And plug this in. So I figure out which way the key goes on this. There we go. And there you go. So your power supply is in. You got power to this, so data and power to your DVD drive, data and power to your hard drive. You got your main 24-pin power, your external or your secondary 4-pin power, which I'm pretty sure is strictly for the processor. Sometimes you'll have power that plugs into your video card, but this particular one you don't. All your fans are plugged in, everything's screwed down, everything looks good. We don't have any extra screws left over. We've got these 2 case screws, but these screw the case into the side. So the last thing you're going to want to do is put this case front on, and all you do is you have 4 clips here that are going to slide down into the bottom here, and then it's just going to roll forward, and then you've got these clips here, this clip here, these 3 clips that are just going to clip over this piece of metal. So all you do is pick this up, stick these bottom clips in first, rock it forward, and you're on. And then the very last thing to do is take and put your case side on. And these are pretty straightforward. They got these little clips right here that go into these little the little pieces of metal right here clip on, and then these 3 right here clip underneath this piece of metal right here. So all you want to do is put it on a little far back, make sure it's in there, and then slide forward. Right here you've got a lock. If you want to put a padlock on this to lock somebody out, you can put a padlock right here and make sure that that goes over that, and if that's not bent, sometimes that can be an issue. Then all you do from here is put in your 2 thumb screws. And that does it. So that's the way you'd refurbish a machine. It's 100%, and I'll boot it up on the back end and make sure everything works. But everything was installed properly. Some of the components might not be compatible with this particular machine. Mostly I'm thinking just the RAM. Everything else is pretty much standard in it. But there you go. Hopefully you got a lot of knowledge out of this. This is complete machine tear down and rebuild. Before I actually installed all this, I cleaned all the components. I took all the components out. I used canned air to spray everything out and clean it up. You can also use Q-tips with icy purple alcohol. The higher the percentage, the better, because it evaporates faster. It won't screw up any of the components. You don't want to sop anything in it, but you can just dab, wipe over it real quick. Just like alcohol pads are really nice to use, or alcohol, the little alcohol pads that you do for a bandage or a shot or something like that. Those work really well. So hopefully you got everything you need and increase your knowledge of desktop computers. Please visit me at www.frytechit.com.